with a way of mummifying the Morris Minor.
These cars look like derelicts, rusty hulks fit only for the scrap heap. There are still 180,000 Morris Minors on the road, but they're being scrapped at the rate of 15,000 a year. Their passing is mourned by generations of motorists for whom the Minor has become a classic. It may not have the streamlined looks or the raw power of other classics like the Jaguar XK120 or the Aston Martin, but there are some people who won't drive anything else.
The Morris Minor has always had a reputation for being a long-lasting little car. But even so, the ravages of 30-odd winters are bound to take their toll. And with this one, it's already beginning to rust into pieces. Bits are actually hanging off it. Now, it's always been possible to buy replacement wings for these cars, even doors and various other panels. You can actually still order them from British Leyland. But the big problem has always been that once the underside of the car, the underbody, has rusted away, it's had to be scrapped. That is until now, because now Oldham and Crowther have come up with a completely new approach to repairing and restoring these cars. And they've done it simply by designing and building their own completely new underbody section.
The old underbody is simply cut away and the new one welded into place. It seems so simple, you wonder why no one thought of it before. But the fact is, no one made replacement underbodies until the Peterborough firm started stamping them out. Calling on their experience of making entire body shells for old Jaguars from scratch, they can now rebuild a Morris Minor to look like new.
Ruth, why do people have such a soft spot for old jalopies like these Morris Minors?
Well, I think it's because there isn't really anything made today that sort of fits the bill that the Morris Minor fitted. I mean, it's got masses of room in it, it's absolutely reliable, it just goes on and on.
What has been the big problem then with preserving them?
Well, every one that we've found in a scrapyard has got there, not because there's anything wrong with the mechanics, but because the whole underside of the car has just rotted away.
Now, how big a problem has that been in the past to repair then? I mean, has it been possible?
No, it was impossible because the only panels that were available were a series of patches, and eventually you ended up with patches on the patches and you had to just throw the car away.
So why did you decide and how did you decide on this new approach?
Well, we were asked to make various panels for the Minor when it was known that we had these big presses. As soon as we looked at the few that we'd got for patterns, we realised that you had to just start and make the whole underside. It was a waste of time doing anything else.
Now, you're well known, of course, for the work you do on restoring classic cars, particularly Jaguars, but the Morris Minor is hardly a classic car.
No, but there's something about a Morris Minor which you just don't get in modern cars, and it's so practical. And for us, you know, after you've worked on Jaguars, and working on these is like having a holiday.
The firm expect to be turning out completely refurbished Morris Minors at the rate of 10 a month within the next few weeks. Prices for the cars with reconditioned body shells, reconditioned engines and gearboxes will start at around £2,000, half the price of a modern saloon that probably won't last half as long.
Marvellous little cars. I believe there was even a song written